Oh, and we are live. Where's my pen gone? Okay. Oh, all right. We'll just wait for a few minutes there. Let people pop on and get cracking on here. It's recording as well, anyway, so we'll get it put up on the YouTube channel and whatnot. I think everything's. I've just ow. I think I've checked everything. But if you are on there, just like let me know in the chat that you can hear it. I have checked the microphone, and I think everything's working okay. And I'll try and get through this. Try and get through this one tonight. Not feeling my sharpest. Okay, not feeling my sharpest. But all good, all good. Loud and clear. Nice to hear. Excellent. All right, yeah, good. A few popping on there. All good, yeah, loud and clear. Lovely. Hiya, Barbara, how you doing? And moo ha, little pipsqueak. Evolment, I like that name. And Mickey Butts, hello to everyone. And hi, Sandra. Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Free flight, hiya, how you doing, Martin? Good. Good to know it's all working. All righty. Hiya, Chris, how you doing? Keith, yeah, that's good. Good. Everyone on there? A lot on a few on Facebook, a few on Lulu, hiya. A few on YouTube. Good to see. I wasn't actually going to come on tonight, like for us. I'll explain everything in a little while. But I thought, well, I just want a little bit. I'll do a short one. XRP, how you doing? Oh, I was wanting XRP to drop a little bit lower. I was wanting and to try and get people to go in, but it jumped back up again. Hopefully it'll drop again a little bit, and then we can start like going in nice and low. Hiya. I've left my glasses downstairs. Can't read too much. D, hi, how you doing? It's a lot of people panicking when they see all the crypto prices crashing and go, oh no, it's all going. Now, what you want it to do, you want it to drop that just a little bit more, and then when we can start getting involved a little bit more and getting it all at the low prices, there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. A lot of major players that are, and I'm talking about banks, by the way, here, nothing to do with people are buying crypto, and it's like what they're doing, the banks and everything. So very interesting times. Obviously a lot of it to do with these court cases and that. I don't know a great deal about it. I'm not pretending that I do, like the cases and all of that. I know that the SEC won one case, but I doubt that they're going to win the XRP one the way that they have the other one. But yeah, it'd be nice to see it just drop a little bit more. Okay, Nick, hi, how are you doing? Very good to see you on here. What time is it now? Just after 33. Okay, cool. So I just wanted to make sure that I kept in touch, tell you what's going on, and what we're doing, and then it won't be sort of like any marathon session today. So like if you notice, I've got like this sling on here. So I was pretending to be a teenager again. For going out on my bike, So the last 3 weeks been doing really well, going to the gym like 3 times a week and then getting out on the bike. And wasn't as successful getting on the bike. But I am Martin. So on Tuesday, just gone there. So I had fighting with the ground. Hey Zoe. So I went out on my bike. So I enjoy going along the beach, going along the coast, going along into the harbour and everything like that. And I nearly actually went into the harbour this week. Hey, John, how you doing? And it's a normal route that I've taken, so it's like all fine, right? Not a problem. So I thought like same thing. It wasn't even going fast or anything like that. Nice straight roads, go fast, slow down on there. And John Lewis as well. How you doing? Good to see you. But on the harbour in the town where my gym, well, it's still there, but like my son runs it now, but where I've had my gym, You know, it's all what they call it, the staiths, which are made of wood, and it's where they had a few years ago they had the tall ships race all came in there. You know, it's a very famous harbour, and they actually made the first aircraft carrier there. You know, years and years ago. And that was called HMS Ark Royal. It was actually converted from a merchant ship. You know, hiya 79K Lang, how you doing? Good to see you. But anyway, all the staiths that they call them is where they used to, because all the mines used to pump all the coal up to there, and they're all made of wood. And it's totally fine riding along there, but it had been raining, and I didn't really think too much about it. So you know, and I was very slowly going around the corner, and the bike just slipped right out on the wood. It was all soaking wet and dead slippy, you know, so it slipped the front wheel, not the back wheel. So the front wheel slipped right away at the side, going straight towards the harbour, and like over the edge into the water, which is about another 15-foot drop as well. But I landed straight on the shoulder, boom, straight down, no time to put anything out, stop myself, and then onto my side, my ribs and everything like that. So I've broken my collarbone, I've snapped that in half, and I've cracked my ribs, and it's on the back, not the front. I've cracked the ribs before on this side, yeah, you know, when I was fighting, you know, competing, it was like a kick actually, like snapped one clean in half there. But yeah, it's on the back, and it's actually the shoulder blade as well. It's not broken, but it's like very badly bruised. But the collarbone is broken, and the ribs are cracked. So, and I'm trying hard not to sneeze, you know, or laugh. That's not good. Okay, so yeah, and it's just, you know, it's hard, like wears you out, makes you tired. You know, you're healing anyway, and that makes you tired. And you know, like when you get ready to go into the shower, you've got to undress to get into the shower, and then moving your arm, so it's just painful. And then obviously you did go to dried, and then coming back out of the shower, and it just wears you out. It's like completely exhausted. So it's just tiring. And then it is actually, I have to go and lie down. So, see, that hurts. And then like, yeah, no laughing. I'm not laughing at all. I'm trying hard not to laugh. And I sneezed twice today. I've sneezed. Oh my days. Oh, but hiya, Ali. Yeah. I am. Apart from that, I'm well. I'm just tired and just trying to, you know, just trying to like get through it. Oh, a new job. Well, I hope you're enjoying it and everything. We're going to go over some dates and some events and everything. That's yeah, I know. Yeah, Janine kicked me off my bike. Yeah, but yeah. And last night, like little mouse. This is the thing. I just don't go to hospitals. You know what I mean? I've never been there, like for years and years and years. And then this year, right, the dog bites my hand, so I'm in the hospital. And I was in there for nearly a week, with my hands strapped up like this, like and what do you call it, intravenous, getting pumped into me. And then last night, right, same little mouse, the dog, and he's actually crawled inside of the sling. So he's lying on my sore shoulder, and he's lying on my sore ribs, pressing into me. I'm thinking, what are you doing? You know, so I had to actually take the sling off. You know, my hand was getting swollen up, because you can't keep it like strapped up all the time, because it does get really sore and swollen. But he's lying right across it like there, and he's blowing hot air into my face. You know, it's breathing. I'm thinking, yeah, well, that's little bugger that he is. Look, I'm being good tonight. Look, just having water. Throat's like trying not to sneeze and coughing or anything. But anyway, yeah, so that was all good fun. So it kind of knocked things like around a bit. And actually tomorrow I was supposed to be, or was hoping to try and get down to Norwich. We just had trouble with the hall, so we had to just leave that one. So that's what I had swapped all my calls around and everything like that. So it's been sort of like a mixed up week anyway. So it made everything a bit strange for me. But, you know, it's a lot been going on. Hang on. It's itchy as well. Oof. But yeah, that will teach me. So anyway, so what we up to? So I have still like been because I can sit down in here and actually do paperwork and everything. I'm okay with it. So I've been doing a few trusts and everything, getting them ready. I've got a few more coming in. I've done a lot of calls, helping people out with various different things, court cases and whatnot, and the old PRA group. Okay, the debt group. Cover that. Them. See them? Where are they? Look. Scumbags. Dealing with them and various different sort of like debt agencies and everything, helping, and what I'm gonna do a little bit more on the actual debt creation side and how the fraudulent, like the crazily fraudulent it is. But the next event that we're gonna have is on the live. Actually, going to do it at an event in a hall. Is going to be on the Saturday, the 3rd of December. How you doing? How you doing? Flies in here, and that's going to be in Gateshead. So just literally on the River Tyne. So just on the other side of the River Tyne for Newcastle. So we're going to do that on Saturday, the 3rd of December. Starts at 10. Right the way through till 4:30. We have to be out at 4:30 because there's like another booking in the hall after that. So it's going to be packed. It's like, a lot of information piled on. I'm running some new slides as well as mixing up the slides that we've already got, so that it's just going to be like full steam ahead. A lot of information, trying to get it, but like we will. I'm going to try hard to get it all recorded. I've got a new voice machine that I'm going to try and use to make sure that the sound's really good with it. Get a good camera and record it all. So, it should be good. Plus, anyone who does go will get the slides to go along with it as well. So, I'm putting some new slides in there, some new, not new information, but just clarifying information. Plus, new information for a lot of people anyway. But then the week after that, which is going to be December the 10th, right, we're going to do an online event. So anyone that wants to get onto that. Now, I know that there is a few people on here tonight already that are in my PMA. So this is open to the PMA. We've already set that side up so that there's people that can, if you're in the PMA, you're going to go onto this course anyway. But we're going to do this course for anyone. Hey, more credit. How you doing? That wants to come along on. And this is going to be, I don't know how long it's going to be, but it's going to be a long time. It's going to be, I don't know, 6-7 hours maybe. I'm not sure. But it's going to be let's just say it's going to be an all-day event from 10 in the morning till it finishes. So what we're going to do is it's going to cover many different parts of protection. Okay, protection from the system. So the hi Marie. We're going to start off with, I don't know what we're going to start off with. I've got a running order, but we're going to cover the trust creation. Now, the thing is, right, not everybody can afford to, go out and ask someone to create a trust for them. And the prices vary, so, and everybody's, entitled to do whatever they want to do. It's not my business and what anyone does, and I'm not bothered, but we do the same. We charge what we charge, and we create the trusts and we send them out to people and we'll have them in the folders and we express them for them as well via the Royal Mail, and then explain to them how they can double express it through the public side, which is in the newspapers or online, or both even, which online you can do for free anyway. So that's on the Saturday the 10th. We're actually going to do, and I'm going to create a private trust deed with you. Okay. Yeah, of course you will. I mean, you can actually, John, if you join the PMA before there, then let me know, and when anyone new coming along, and they can go on to, we'll be doing our weekly PMA calls are usually on a Thursday at 7:30. Okay, I can't remember if it was a bit later last night. Because we had the vet in for one of the dogs, the old dog who's like 15, and she just had her bloods back, and everything's fine. It's really good. So they're coming back next week, and they're going to have a look at her. There might be something wrong in a tooth or a mouth. She might have a bad tooth that's stopping her eating. So, but our bloods come back fine. It's really, really good, in good health for like a 15-year-old dog. Got bad arthritis in her legs, but anyway, so it might have been a bit later. But normally we do our PMA meetings, which are on a Thursday night, 7:30. And anybody from there, I'll give you the emails while we're in there that you can tell me you want to go on the trust course, and you'll be included in it anyway. So anyone on our PMA, but it's literally going to create everything with you, so you could follow it through step by step. So I'm going to create a trust deed. Okay, I'm going to do the trust deed here, Jay. And so you literally copy me as you're going through. So what will happen is, if you want to go on to the course, then when you actually make the donation, right, which would be like 97, okay, so like very, very little compared to like having a trust created for you, then you will be supplied with all of the documentation or all of the links. All right. So when the documentation comes through, you'll have it in front of you, and it'll be the same as what I've got, and you can copy me step by step, literally. So we're going to do the trust deed of asset protection, all right, which is the big deed of like the whole thing, which sits on top, if you want to call it that. Imagine it like a pyramid, like a trust pyramid or a trust triangle at the top of the triangle. So that's like the top one, the trust deed of asset protection. And then we're also going to do like the trust memorandum of creation. So we'll create that with you as well. Then we'll do the assignment of res or property, like actually literally depositing the property into the trust. Okay. Then we're going to do the public notice of trust interest, which is an optional form, which is a way of expressing it publicly, which you can use for a notice board, maybe at the public library, a notice board, or we've got one at our post office. Okay. We're also going to do the certificate of trust creation. So the certificate of trust creation, the assignment of res, and the memorandum of trust creation, all of them, we use the Royal Mail tracking numbers, which we actually purchase before we send it either to ourselves or to other people. So if you're doing it with me, then you'll buy them to send to yourself. Okay. You can actually have like just written underneath there. You can just get them to sign it underneath, Jay. Just write it on or edit it slightly. Yeah, and they can write it on and sign for the third trustee, which you do need for the PMA. Right, so we'll actually show you how to do all that with the Royal Mail and how to put the Royal Mail tracking numbers in. We're literally going to create it there. And then literally, slowly but surely, we'll go and create one document, have a Q&A on it. Create the next document, Q&A, next document, Q&A, and we'll create all of the trust documents, including the certificates. So once we've done the certificate of creation, we'll also do the trustee certificates and then the units of beneficial interest certificates as well. All right. Now, that is all on the trust side, the private trust for you. Once we've done the private trust, we're going to go on to the Office of the Public Guardian, which is a public forum, which is a public website. It's actually a government website on gov.uk, the Office of the Public Guardian. The office itself is based in Birmingham, but they do the power or the lasting power of attorney. The two of them that we do, the lasting power of attorney on property or property and finance, and the lasting power of attorney on health and wellness. A lot of people aren't doing them because it looks too daunting. They don't want to do it. It's very long, very complicated. So we're going to actually go through and create them. Now, it's all going to get videoed. And if you've gone onto the course, even if you can't get it all on the day, it's still a bit confusing to you. It's going to be recorded and you're going to get the recording as well. So you not only will you be able to do it live, but you'll also get the recording and you'll be able to go through it all as well. Okay, so it's going to be very, very helpful and beneficial for you. So on the Office of the Public Guardian, we'll create the lasting power of attorney. We'll obviously create it with Fred and Jenny Smith, and you can actually put in your details there. But like I say, you know, even if you're not doing it, but you're just pretending to do it to give you practice, which is what I would do, I would actually like create all of the documents as a template that you can then go back to and use again, watching the video and using your own templates that you've actually created with ourselves, and then do the full document itself. So there's 2 of them on the Office of the Public Guardian, 2 powers, lasting power of attorney. And then what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the land registry as well. So we're going to go into the land registry website again. It's a government website. You see, because what we're doing is we're going private and public. Then we can use the public to forum or the websites to protect ourselves as well. All right. So the yeah, unfortunately, too painful. And it's like what do you call these things? I've only got this on because it's like a wraparound, just like the dressing gown, but it's just a wraparound. So like it's very difficult to put things over my head, like a t-shirt or a hoodie or anything like that. It kills me. I have to like pull it up one side and then try and slip it over the other. So that's why I'm wearing what might look like a smoking jacket, but yeah. But it's just a dressing gown, and it's just because it's easy to put on and tiring when to do it. So like on the land registry, what we'll do is we'll show you how to do the ID one. Very simple, but we'll go over it anyway. And then, show you where's the different versions of getting it identified by an officer of the court. Some people can do an ID3, by the way. They brought in this new one called an ID3 for the Charlie stuff, when no one was allowed to go out. So instead of you going to an office and getting identified by your face and your passport, they had what do you call it? An ID3, which is like you can get a photocopy of things, and it's an absolute pain in the back end. I fell off my bike, Marie, and I've broke my collarbone and cracked some ribs. That's what's the matter with me. So we'll stick with the ID one. You can do the ID3 and you can check that one out on yourself, but I would much prefer the ID one because you can get it signed by a solicitor. It's very easy. You take a driving license or passport in. Obviously, they're going to look at you. And yeah, I know at my age, falling off a bike, nearly fell into the harbour. And I wouldn't have been able to swim either because I couldn't move my arm. But what you do is you go into the office, and obviously they see your ID, whatever it would be. And then you take a little photograph in with you as well, so they can actually, what do you call it? Sleeping's terrible. They sign the back of the photograph and they put a paper clip on there, and then the solicitor signs the ID one. Once he signed it, then you take it away and you put it in with all of your other documents. So we'll show you how to do that one anyway, very simple one. But then we'll also do the AP one. We'll fill it out completely for you. All right. And then after that, we're going to do the TR1. And we'll show you how to make sure that the AP one ties in with the TR1, because it must match on certain boxes for the identity. They have to be identical. Yeah, pulling wheelies. Yeah, I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could do that when I was a kid, never mind now. But yeah, very, 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 very clever of me. Bit silly, really. I didn't think about like the wood being wet and it would be slippy like that, and it just caught me and I was gone. Now on top of, once we've done the ID, the TR1 and the AP one, making sure that they actually match together as well, then we'll show you how to do the RX one. The RX one's very important. You have to get it correct. You do not want to mistake on that. So what you do is you declare somebody else that will actually own the equity in your property on the land registry. So we're going to do the land registry forms, all of them. ID1, TR1, AP1, RX1. And then they actually all get put together, and you have to pay. I've actually got the land registry. You have to pay. Can't remember what it was now. The prices. It wasn't huge or anything like that. And remember, what we're doing is we're transferring the property for value. transferring for value. So you're not selling a property, so there is no extras to pay or anything silly like that. None of this stamp duty nonsense or anything like that. So literally, the transfer for value can be a bottle of water, a pound, an apple, makes no difference. And you don't have to tell anyone either. Like, there's no disclosure of a private contract agreement or a private trust, what you've actually transferred the property for. So literally, you're going to go through all of that paperwork like that there. Now, obviously, I'm not sure how long it's all going to take. And because we're going to be doing it live, we will have to have breaks so everybody can pop out and get a little bit of cup of tea and toilet breaks and the whatnot. Okay, so we're going to do all that on the 10th of December. And then if there's any time left over as well, we're going to go on to make sure that we show people quickly how to do the L&Ds as well. So a lot of paperwork to go over on that. And then a peppercorn, yes, exactly. See, it can be just for anything of value. Okay, a little kiss, mwah, and that's the value you've actually transferred your property. So I haven't finished the actual link for that. I was going to try and finish it today, but I had meetings today about a court case that we're dealing with. So I had to go through all the statements and all of the witnesses, or a man and woman who did witness, I should say. So we've got all that sorted, but it took a lot of time going through all that. And then, like I say, you've got certain things that you have to do normal that take a lot longer when you're in this kind of situation. And it's so tiring. All right, I'm trying to stop myself sneezing. I don't want to sneeze. It is so painful, honestly. Okay, well, I have to move back a bit because I haven't got my glasses with me, so I'm trying to read some of the smaller writing. All right, so Jason, if you do the RX1 to the trust, is there a risk that they don't accept the validity of the trust because it's not a legal trust? Absolutely not at all. Now let's talk about that for a little bit. So I was going to mention that anyway. Yeah, I take the colloidal silver for sure, Martin. I've got some arnica. Do you know the arnica? Hey, Bob, how are you doing? Oh, I've got cream. I've got all these people have been great and given me special creams that help to knit bones. And I've got colloidal silver that I take these tablets with. Not just the arnica, but something about a claw. Can't remember what it was. Now, maybe is there something called a claw, devil's claw, or something like that helps. I don't know. Now on the trusts, this is the thing, right? So we've had a few. Well, I haven't, but some people have told me that they've had a few challenges. Let's just say with postal services, where you actually get the post delivered to a postal address, so it doesn't have to be at your home, and you can also have it for, let's just say, the private trust. Right, on mine it's like the Willstaff Private Trust, the same as the Willstaff PMA. So I have it delivered to a different mailing address, so it's completely different to my, where I am now. Okay, I haven't got my name registered anywhere. I'm not on the land registry. I'm not on any electoral roll. I'm not on any council tax lists. I'm not on any lists whatsoever. So I don't want mail getting delivered, to there, especially if it's to a trustee of a private trust. So we use a mail service. Now, I've had no problem whatsoever. Okay, so what the newer people have, let's just say, they've actually went and ordered this mailing service, and they've come back and went, oh, if it's a private trust or if it's a trust, you have to go and tell the HMRC. It's absolutely nonsense. You have to make sure you stand your ground. Say, well, look, I want to give you the business. I will give you that, because you have to pay for it if you're going to use their mailing service. But this is a private trust, and it's created under equity and natural law. This is the jurisdiction of equity and natural law, which is not the jurisdiction of HMRC, right, which is UK jurisdiction, which is acts and statutes. It's only legislation. We are not under legislation. We are under equity and natural law. And anyone who knows anything about jurisdiction will understand that or comprehend that immediately. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm going to buy some stabilizers. Actually, I think it's going to take me a while before I ever go on a bike, if I ever go out again, to be honest. Yeah, so that's how to handle it. Now, if they won't actually accept that, which they have with mine, I'm totally fine with mine, absolutely no problem with mine, then I will just go and take the business elsewhere, okay? Oh. All right, a nose wash on colloidal silver. Well, I've never heard of that one before, Martin, but I definitely drink it with these what's some kind of claw thing, that tablet, whatever it's called. Okay, so like just bear that in mind for the private trusts things. Now, it's completely under, like, it's law. Remember this, right? We are standing at law, and the law is completely different to statute. So all you have to do is you can look at the coronation oath of William and Mary from 1688, and it shows the three differences of their act, statutes, and it's statutes, law, and custom. All right, so law and custom being completely different to the an act or an act of parliament. All right, so they're talking about parliamentarians. Okay. All right, so then, right, you can also look at the Bill of Rights, which is the same year, 1688, although it got enacted in 1689, but it is a 1688 act, and that states point blank there about the difference between acts and statutes and law. And then we take it even further, and you go into the Settlement Act of 1700, and when they've got that put down there, and it tells you point blank. Now, obviously, we're talking about Great Britain, and it says, right, that the law, LAW, not acts, not statutes, the law, right, is our birthright. So we are under the law, not acts and statutes. So, and part of the Bill of Rights, that's the 1688 one, right? That also states on there that the parliamentary, like there's like something like, lords and temporal or whatever it is, and commons assembled, that they are there as representatives, okay, of all of the people's estates. That's the wording that they use. Representatives of all of the people's estates. Now, we are the estates, right? We have the estates. So what we're going to do is that proves point blank that when they're saying that they are representatives, that means they can only be the agents of the principal. All right. So they are the agents of us. We are the principal. So when you check into, I had it written down. I think I've got it downstairs now. Right, there was the Supreme Court. I think it might be 41, SC 41. Hang on, this nose is going mad. I just don't want to sneeze. All right, with what's his name? When he tried to, I think they've got this correct word, prorogue the government, when he tried to like force everybody to do what he said, old fatty Boris, right? Then and he, well, they all got beat on there because it actually showed on that Supreme Court that the Parliament is not in charge, all right, and also the judiciary is not in charge. We are in charge, us, okay. So when you're looking at that act, or sorry, that case law, and that was in the High Court, so the Supreme Court. So you can't get a higher court in the UK, all right. Oh dear me. So point blank there, that shows the difference in the jurisdiction. And the jurisdiction that we have is that we are standing under natural law. And under natural law, it's very uncomplicated. All right. It's not anything to do with the thousands and thousands of legislative acts that they create, which rules over everything from like walking down the street to the Road Traffic Act, all the different rules and regulations, to also your weights and measurements, and the size of an orange and an apple, for God's sake. Okay, so all we want to use that for, all right, is to completely and utterly make sure that they can see the separation, okay, between acts and statutes and law. So that's what you use if you have any problem with when you're putting your trust into what do you call it, the big ghost mail. We use ghost mail. Someone just mentioned that, or any other mail service, because it is, if at all possible, I'm not saying it's like a do or die, but it's better if you can have a separate address to have from your property that you're putting into the trust. When we were running the gym, we used to use the gym address. Okay, so everything got sent to the gym address, not to what the property that was inside the trust. It just makes it that little bit more of the separation, which is why, as well, we try to tell people, all right, that what do you call it? That don't have it on your, like, say for instance, if it was me, I wouldn't have it Peter Wilson Trust. You don't want it that, because it's pointing straight back to you. Okay, so it is, make it a different name, just mix it up a little bit. So but don't have it sort of like not even just your surname. Don't have it like whatever it would be, Wilson Private Trust, or your full name, Peter Wilson Private Trust, anything like that. Create a name, right? Now, then have that, or mix it up, like, so that mix your names up, or mix it up so it can create a word. All right. So yeah. So if you're getting to do that with like ghost mail, for instance, I do know that a few people have been challenged. So far, so good for myself. They've never said anything. And also dealing with the land registry, they've never said anything. But it's exactly the same. Now, land registry, they are a government website, gov.uk. So if they say anything at all whatsoever, then again, you just challenge them, say, look, right, we are standing under equity, and everybody, like, I'm not being funny, but if they're working for the government, then they should know what equity is. Okay, so the equity jurisdiction has got nothing to do with acts and statutes or the legislative jurisdictions. Completely different. Okay, so when you actually go to equity court, which would be Chancery or the High Court, all right, they only use the jurisdiction of equity. All right, so like I say, if I would say the same thing to them, say, well, look, I want to give you the business, but I would be leaving and go straight elsewhere. If I don't know why they all of a sudden got funny. They introduced this legislation. I think it probably actually got, it must have been pushed by somebody to actually start saying things to people. Or maybe somebody just got a little bit of a ants in their pants about something. I'm not really 100% sure. But the same thing when it goes to either the land register or there, you tell them point blank that this is going under equity and natural law. Because the next stage, that what we were going to be tackling, once we've actually set that up for the land registry, obviously we're going to be using the land registry forms. But then our next step, our next movement from there is going to go on to the land patents. Now, I've only been studying this for a little while, about 6 months. So there's a few different things I have to learn, have to go out about it. There's different people who've got different ideas, as always, for different things, so I'm trying to find out what best suits my mind, what I feel comfortable, that what is true. Because, you do like find various different versions of whatever it is that anyone's trying to do, so, but that's what we're going to be doing. So we're looking, once you've actually got yourself set up with the land registry, right, so you're actually protecting your equity. Now, remember, there's a lot of people on here and a lot of people around the place, and they're all trying to like challenge credit cards or bank loans, or bounce back loans from still from the bank, isn't it, but the government set ones, or even mortgages and council tax or anything else like that, utilities. All right, if you're trying to challenge these things and you haven't protected yourself, then all you're going to do is get like, a lot more hassle. So especially when you're dealing, right, with council tax, because you get all sorts of ridiculous threats, but some of them are actually, they mean it. So they try and put a charge on the property. Now they try and do it without anybody knowing. So make sure that you also get a property alert. Sorry, it's called it is a property alert, they call it, from the land registry, which is free. So if you have a property, doesn't matter if you've got a mortgage or not, you can contact the land registry and get set up for property alerts. And I think they give you, I think someone said 10 free a year. So if anyone tries to get any information on your title, remember, we've actually got paper title deeds in here somewhere for this property, going right the way back to when they sold the land to the builder. It's like really old papers, but that doesn't mean anything. You never use them. That is a memento. That is like, a souvenir. The digital records, the digital titles are held at land registry, and they're the only ones that count for anything. Okay, so you need to get, right, even if you haven't got a private trust, you need to make sure you create an RX1 to put the RX1 onto the land registry, because it's a fact that people have actually lost their properties, okay, through identity theft. Okay, so funnily enough, I put a little video out on the TikTok channel about that, and it's amazing how people get triggered. Okay, now then someone else was actually saying on the video, right, on that TikTok video, that they'd heard this on the radio, and then someone else had said it had actually been on the TV. And obviously what these people are identity thieves, and they changed the bills, the utility bills, and then they get a fraudulent driver's license or passport. And with that, they actually go to get the ID1 corrected, signed at a solicitor, and change the land registry to their name. There was a guy, right, that I was reading about, and he actually came back. He was working away and came back, and there was people living in his house. So when he called the police, right, they found out, well, the land registry being changed to this family's name, and he couldn't get in. And it took years, all right, of fighting to get that property back. Okay. All right. So John there, he's asking, if an RX1 is in place, would that stop a council placing a charge on the property? It will stop anybody and everybody, okay, putting any charge on the property. So it doesn't matter if it's like the council trying to put it on, okay, or if it's a debt collection company trying to put it on. Or we have experience of reading, like with the guy who showed me how to do it. It was, with Darren actually, but then also, oh God, I was just reading this thing. What's his name? Oh, I talk about him all the time. I'll remember. Answer. Anyway, that's his name. Answer, ANSAH. I'll think of it in a second. And yeah, they've actually had people gone bankrupt. And obviously, if you go bankrupt, then they actually take everything from you, right? So when they've got the RX1 on, though, the RX1 means it's not yours. Similar to having the private trust. But then if you put the trustees of the private trust on the RX1, so now they've actually owned the property, they own all the equity, okay, you can go bankrupt. Not that I'm telling you to. I'm not. I'm just saying that that's possible. No one can touch the property. No one can touch the equity. Okay, so that's why you do it. And RX1, it's a restriction. That's what it is. It's literally, it is a lien on the property. So when you go and buy a property, if you want a mortgage, you go to the mortgage company, say, lend me 200,000. They put a lien on the property. It's called first in time, first in line. So there's the line of property, right? So if that's your house, there's the line, all right, there. So like here, there's a mortgage company. Boom. They're in front and you're here down there. So if you sell the house, the mortgage company get all the money before you see anything. All you get is what's left. All right. All right. John says that happened in Luton. It was a vicar. Oh, well, the guy I was talking about wasn't a vicar. He was working on a building site, but abroad or something like that. But it happens. That's the thing. It's like more common than you would think. identity theft is extremely nasty, but very clever. No, a UCC1 would not help in the United Kingdom when you're actually dealing with the land registry. Only an RX1 can deal with the land registry in the United Kingdom. Okay, it's a land registry government form. You get it from you can go on to just put on any search engine, RX1 land registry, and it'll come up. Same as you put in, AP1, TR1 land registry, and they all come up, and you can download them, print them off, and then send them in. Okay. I'm trying to think how much it was. I think it was something. The guy that's just done it. I've done all the paperwork for him, and it was about £100, let's just say. Okay. But it's not a massive amount. Now, if you compare that to losing your property, right? So and I'm not on just like, the council putting a charge on it, but literally identity theft. It'll stop all of that. Yeah, that was in the 80s. That off Wheaties and Pet. I read the book first. I was in the Royal Navy at the time, and then it came on the TV later. Where I was. Jimmy Neal. I seen him not long ago singing in the arena at Newcastle with his mates, Dennis. Okay, but like I say, right, they are the forms that we need to get for the land registry. But then after that, we're going to be moving on to the land patents, and I'll let you know all about the land patents. So if you ever want to learn a little bit more about them, okay, you can research a guy's name. There's a few different people, mind, but the one that I was actually on a PMA meeting, because I do a weekly PM, like it's a group of PMAs from all over the world, and I go on to a meeting with them, so they all trade with each other, these PMAs. And this guy runs his own PMA, and he's called Ron Griffiths. So he does a lot of teaching about land patents, because the land is ours. It doesn't matter that they did a set of KV trust. It doesn't matter that they did the unum sanctum. It doesn't matter that they declared all of the land is in the trust and it all belongs to them. It doesn't. They are not the creator. Okay. So because they are not the creator, they cannot claim it. They have claimed it, but we can claim it back. So that's what the land patents are for. So, Ali, how do you get onto the PMA? My PMA, if you go on to claimyourstrawman.com, so www.claimyourstrawman.com, and there's a link to actually join the PMA somewhere on there. Once you've actually opted in, so you get your the emails coming through and everything. There's definitely a link on there anyway. And there's the books. Go and join the books. No, Dimeball, I wasn't actually going to come on tonight, but I thought, I best get on. Just make sure that I'm telling everyone all about Gateshead on the 3rd. I've got the links in the description, and also about the 10th for all of the trusts as well. Anyone who wants to do it. Okay then. So so that's how you get on the PMA then, Ali. So go and have a look at that one. Okay. Council or not, you can do this. You can do an RX1 anyway. It doesn't matter about the council. You should be doing an RX1. All right. So if you have a private trust, right, I would set and the thing is, if you've got a mortgage still, then the mortgage company will get panicky if you try and change the name on the register. Okay. So they've got the lien already, or a restriction, because that's what the RX1 is, a restriction or a lien. They've got it on the property, so they own it before you do. They're going to get their money first in time, first in line. But if you want to change it, they get panicky, so they'll not let you do the AP1 and the TR1. But nobody can stop you doing the RX1. So you do the RX1 and you transfer that into a private agreement, which is the private trust. Okay. Oh, 100%, June. Still do the RX1 as well, because the RX1 is, like I said, they'll not let you, if you owe money on a mortgage, a lot of them won't let you change the name on the AP1 or the TR1, So if you do the RX1, you're literally ring fencing your equity, so nobody can touch your equity at all. Okay, yeah, so you definitely do the RX1 no matter what. So even with a private trust, if you have no mortgage, you'll be doing AP1, TR1, and the RX1, and obviously the ID1 to prove who you are. And if you have got a mortgage and they won't let you change it with the AP1 and the TR1, you definitely still do the RX1. Okay. And then once we find out more and more and more, like I say, like, you know, like that guy, if you want to research him, Ron Griffiths, I've been doing some studying with him. Obviously, you've got to pay for get stuff off him, but then he actually helps with the learning information on the land patents as well. I mean, it's not the only way, and it's not the only version for the land patents, but you know, that is what we need to do next. Okay, so even though we've changed over onto the actual land registry forms, we still want to move away from their system, don't we? So moving away from their system is going to be using the land patents. So everybody might have heard of the term allodial title. Okay, so right, the land patent is basically having a allodial title. All right, so that's what it is. So so I'm not going to be on for much longer, because I am going to be resting up, trying to recover from all of my bumps and bruises, and trying to be Evel Knievel, but not doing very well at it. Mind you, I don't think he did very well at it either, did he? You know, he got himself smashed up quite a lot. Yeah, let's have a Wilstaff land registry. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? Huh? I would be up for doing that. But, you know, I still need to study a lot more on how to do it, but I think everybody creates their own. And then once you have the land patent on your land, you are the king or queen, whatever you want to be, of your land. You own all of it. So then let's just take that. Why would you pay anyone a tax when you are the king or queen of your land? Think about that. Okay, so that kind of puts it into perspective, doesn't it, really? Why you would actually want to do that, and why you would want to learn more about having the land patents or the allodial titles. It's the same type of thing, different name for it. Oh, that hurts. Okay, so just bear in mind, I've got a link in the description, and when I actually save it onto YouTube, I'll make sure that it goes in as well. So that'll be the links in for December the 3rd at Gateshead. So we're going to do the live presentation. Yeah, king of your own land, and no MPs whatsoever. So just got to remember that you know, these members of parliament. So what is a parliament and what is a government? Okay, it's like there's nothing, is it? It's what, a piece of paper. So you look and say, well, I'm going to talk to the government. You can't talk to a government, okay, because it doesn't exist. You can't talk to it. Well, you can, I suppose, talk to a piece of paper if you wanted, but you're not going to get much of a response. Now, just while I was thinking as well, talking about a response, I don't know if anybody did go on that call, because I did say to go and try and go on that call, which is, I think, Wednesday, for that Greg Paul and Jonathan Little, you know, but yeah, it wasn't when they were saying it was going to be a Q&A. I did actually think they were going to answer some questions, but they didn't really answer many questions. So we're actually going to set something up where we're going to go and teach people how to correctly create these notices, standing as a man writing to, or a woman writing to another man or a woman, and how you can hold, right, the other man or woman accountable for their actions. Because this is the thing, again, dealing with this, I was being asked to go in a little bit later, but like dealing in this court case, hopefully we can get it sorted, and remedy what has been done wrong to this guy. But then after that, what I want to do is want to like help him go for the what they call the council officials in their private capacity for what they have done to him, to this guy, which was try to like literally ruin him. And I think a lot of it was out of their embarrassment of how silly that they were trying to enforce these fraudulent Charlie rules and regulations. Yeah, so that'll be interesting. So that's what we're going to do is that you know, we're going to do like a little course where we're actually going to help people to be able to write these notices correctly, standing as a man or woman, talking at law, right, and not mixing up like, you know, the actual acts and statutes when you're trying to talk about law, because you can't mix the two when you're actually writing these notices. It has to be 100% done at law. Okay, so Eleanor saying, have you seen the Queen statue? Luckily, no. Okay, all right. So I don't want to see it either. I don't think. We need to see more freedom statues, I think, is what we would really want to see rather than that one. But I think that is going to be all I've got to say for tonight. I know it's shorter, but honestly, unfortunately, with my all of my playground shenanigans that I've been up to this week, right, I am not 100%, and so I'm going to have a bit of rest. Fingers crossed we'll be back to normal next week. What day is it today? It's the 11th. 11th. Oh, dear me. So next week, next Friday, we'll have a bit longer. We'll have a bit more. And I want to get more into the debt side of things as well. Okay, but I'm going to leave it there for tonight. Just thought I'd get on anyway, just to make sure I kept everyone up to speed on things. And I'm going to go and get myself. Look, see, I'm being really good as well. Just like a little bit of water. No. I only had one, like, or maybe 2 cans of beer last night, and that was it. So, but yeah, I'm going to get off now and have a nice quiet weekend to myself. I'm gonna put big padlocks on my bike and lock it in the garage, and make sure I take it easy, okay? But Dawn, I'll be in touch with you soon. Dawn Race, yeah, I see. I've got notes to talk to people. I just never had time today. I actually did end up going to bed for a couple hours in the afternoon. Oh, just worn out. We're doing all this. Okay, but everyone take care, and we will see you next Friday. All right, 7:30 we'll be back on, and we'll be getting a lot more information out there. Oh, that hurts. I'll stretch up. Okay, so take care, all of you. I can't really lift my hands up very much today. All right, but we'll see you all. Okay, this will be recorded. This will be going up. How do you stop it again? My mind's not working as it should. And next week as well, like, you know, like we've got the vets coming back. The bloods on the old 15-year-old dog were all very good. She was very in good health. So they're just going to check her teeth and clean up her mouth. And so everything should be fine for her as well. So that was getting me down as well. And, you know, I don't drink and drive. And I definitely wouldn't be drinking and riding a bike. But it was in the morning, so there's no way I'd have a drink. But anyway, take care, everyone. And we will see you all very soon. Have a good, strong end to what's been hopefully a strong week. Bloody hell, a strong 5 days for you. All right? Take care.